Welcome back, the Keto family. Today we're making twice baked loaded cauliflower. If this is your first time with us, don't forget, hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. Alright lovelies, before we get started, as a reminder, everything I'm using today you're going to find listed right down there in the description below. And then at the end of the video will be a nutritional information card so you have an idea what the breakdown for this will be. Alright, that being said, this recipe, I can't tell you, I found it in one of those little magazines you get at the grocery store when you're waiting forever to check out and you're just scanning all the magazines. There's this little dude here, and it's been sitting on my shelf for probably 2 or 3 months now. And last month I picked it up, was scanning through it, trying to find some new recipes to add to my family's, weekly list of stuff. And I've been making this and it has become a weekly favorite for us. Now I have made tweaks here and there with the ingredients, but in the end, my family absolutely loves this. They request it all the time. And a couple weeks ago we had some family visiting from out of town, and they are non-keto, like completely, they don't do keto in any way. And I made this for them and they loved it. So this will work for your keto and non-keto friends and family. All right, to get started. Everyone knows cauliflower, okay? And I have cauliflower videos, this, that, and the other. But whenever you make this, my husband has said this is the closest thing to real mashed potatoes he's gotten. It's absolutely incredible. The original recipe called to bake the cauliflower in the oven for 40 minutes. And if you have that kind of time, more power to you, bake it in the oven for 40 minutes first. But me personally, I'm going to be steaming mine. So I have a head of cauliflower that I cut up into florets. I'm dropping it, and I'm just going to steam this bad boy for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's see. Alright, there we go. We're going to let this steam, and I'll be right back with you to show you the rest of it. Alright guys, so the cauliflower has finished steaming, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in my food processor. I'm going to blend it until it's nice and smooth. If your head of cauliflower was rather large, you might need to do this in 2 steps instead of 1. We'll see if I can fit all this in 1. It was a pretty decent sized head of cauliflower. Alright, so all my cauliflower did fit in there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add butter to it. I have 4 tablespoons of butter, and all I did was I cut it up into pats, and then I cut each one of those pats into smaller pieces. That'll help it disperse more easily through here, but you want to make sure you get it in while cauliflower is still hot, because it'll melt down into all this yummy goodness we're going to make. Next up, I have a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream we're going to add. And a 1/4 cup of sour cream. Alright guys, so that's all the ingredients in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it, and we're going to blend this for probably about a minute or so. It depends on if you want your mashed cauliflower to be a little bit on the chunky side or really creamy. It's a preference. I like mine slightly chunky. My daughter likes it nice and smooth, so we usually go for somewhere in between. I'm going to get this blending. I'll be right back. Alright, so that's done. It was probably about a minute or so. Let me see. I'm going to pour this out into a bowl. Alright, now my mashed cauliflower is in the bowl here. I'm going to go ahead and start adding the other ingredients to it. First off, I'm going to add my seasonings. I've got a teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt, a teaspoon of Mrs. Dash, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. If you're not a garlic fan, you don't have to put the garlic powder in it. We just really like it. In here I've got green onions. I went ahead and chopped up 3 green onions. If you want to, you can reserve some of this to garnish it with at the end, or just cut more of them up while you're waiting for this to cook in the oven. Alright, my favorite part personally, I get bacon. And how much bacon you want in this is personal. This is a very versatile recipe, so you can adjust it up, down, admit it completely, whatever you prefer. We really love bacon, so I went ahead and cooked up an entire pack of it. I'm going to put half of it in this, and then we're going to save the other half for garnishing with. Alright, and then same thing with cheese. Again, you can adjust the cheese up or down as you see fit. I got 2 cups of finely shredded cheddar here. We're going to add about half of that in and save the other half for later. Alright, you give it all a good mix. And then just taste test it, make sure the seasonings are to your liking. These are. I've made this recipe many times, and we know we loved it just like this. Alright, so we got our potatoes all ready to go here in this bowl, and what I've got is these cute little ramekins. I got these last year right after the holiday season when they went on clearance at Michael's. So these were like 50 cents or $1 each. Gotta love it. And I think the idea of single servings is awesome in our house because it helps, one, with portion control, and two, it's just so different. You don't see it a lot, and it really, you know, gives something special to the dinner. So I like to do these at home for us. We are just a family of 3. So I'll do 3 ramekins, and then I have a little casserole dish here that, obviously this is more than 3 ramekins worth. So what I do is I put whatever's left in the casserole dish, and then I'll store it in the fridge, and this reheats beautifully. So this is also great meal prep if you don't want to serve it immediately for prepping for the week. It does store well in the fridge. You eat on throughout the week. All right, so all we're gonna do is we're gonna put these, we're gonna serve this out into each one of these ramekins. All right, so I got my 3 ramekins filled. I'm just gonna set those aside for now and put the rest of this in my casserole dish. All right, now that we got the casserole dish and our 3 ramekins filled, we're gonna put the rest of the ingredients on. We're gonna put cheese. Again, how much cheese you put on here, do how you like. You put a little bit of cheese, you can put a whole lot of cheese. This is what you want, what you're gonna eat, so make it how you like it. We like a lot of cheese in my house. We like cheese and we like bacon, so the ketogenic diet's perfect for us. Now the ramekins are cheesed up, it comes time for our little casserole dish here. All right, now for the bacon. All right, so these have been topped off. Now we're going to bake them in the oven. I've already got my oven preheated to 375. We're going to bake these for 10 to 15 minutes, just enough to make sure that the mashed cauliflower inside gets warmed up through and the cheese gets melted. All right, so in order to cook these ramekins, I'll put them on a baking sheet here. Makes getting them in and out of the oven a good bit easier. All right, I'm going to stick these in the oven and bake them for about 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Alright, so these just came out of the oven and they are sizzling hot right now. And meanwhile, while they were cooking, I did chop up a little more green onion just to garnish a little bit with. If you want, you can even, you can even add sour cream to this. You can add, whatever you would normally put on your loaded potatoes, you can more bacon if you want. You can chop up some tomatoes if you want. I got sour cream, I'm gonna add some green onion. Alright, and these are done. These are ready to take to the table and serve just like this. And as far as the one I made in the casserole for later, I'm going to let this cool off on the countertop for a little bit, and then I'll put the lid on it and just stick it in the fridge. It is good to go. Scoop it out and heat it up in the microwave or toast oven, however you prefer, and it is ready to eat. Guys, I hope you found this video helpful. I really hope you try this recipe. It is my husband's #1 favorite potato replacement recipe. Don't forget, leave me a thumbs up down below, and feel free to share this recipe with anybody that you know who's looking for a great twice-baked mashed fauxtato mashed cauliflower recipe. Until next time, guys. Bye.